Hey guys, what is up? It is the Fast Break Report here, bringing you guys another vlog. So I just got home from the mall. I had to go get my putter regripped, and I come home, and my brother told me that Damian Lillard requested a trade, and I was like, get the fuck out of here. And sure enough, it happened. Damian Lillard has requested a trade out of Portland, and I'm just gonna call it what it is, man. Portland handled this situation so fucking poorly, it's kind of unreal, actually. You know, I get that at the opening of free agency, all the big names basically went off the board. Okay, like, yeah, you got Chris Middleton was gone, Kyle Kuzma's gone, Harrison Barnes is gone, like all the big Kyrie Irving's gone. Okay, James Harden's getting traded somewhere. Like, Damian Lillard wanted this team to make a splash in free agency. So what do? Right? They had a pretty good draft. I got to give them credit. They did well during the draft, okay? They got Scoot Henderson, Chris Murray, and I think Ryan Rupert, or I'm not right, Ryan Rupert. I'm not sure what his last name is or what his name is, but they had a pretty solid draft, right? Then they do probably one of the craziest fucking overpays I've ever seen. Like, I thought Jerami Grant would get like 4 or 5 years, 100 and like, you know, anywhere from 112 to like 120 million. Like, that's where I thought like his area was, right? But Portland comes out and offers this man the fucking bag for $160 million, and I'm like, 160, that's almost 200 bands. Like 160 bands, that's what we're doing for fucking Jerami Grant? Now, don't get me wrong. Jerami Grant's been a good player for them, but he's not $160 million worth of good, okay? Like, his value over replacement player isn't even that great. His box plus minus isn't even positive. You know, like, it's one of those things where I'm like, I get why they wanted to bring Jerami Grant back, but holy fuck did Clutch Sports, like, rip their fucking teeth out for it. And, like, I just think to myself, man, if you're Damian Lillard, I get it. Yes, you wanted to bring Jerami Grant back, but by signing Jerami Grant, you fucking chewed up all your cap space. Like, you have nothing left. So now it's like Damian Lillard's gone. And you know what? Honestly, probably for the better. It's about fucking time that we set Damian Lillard free, because they spent so much money on Damian Lillard, and honestly, like, we all knew it was time for them to move on. We've been saying it for fucking years now, easily for the past 2 or 3 years, like, hey, Portland needs to do something, or they need to get rid of Damian Lillard. They now can go into next season and play Scoot Henderson at the 1, Shaedon Sharpe at the 2. Like, they've got some nice pieces that they drafted. Chris Murray's gonna get a shot. Like, you got Jerami Grant, who's pretty good. He's probably gonna be like your number 1 main scoring option now, which is fine. They still have Jusuf Nurkic. Like, they'll have a solid unit. It's not gonna make the playoffs. It'll maybe get them a play-in spot if they're lucky. But, like, it's just the idea, like, we knew this time was coming. And you know what? If you're Portland, it's not the end of the world either. You're going to get a fucking haul for Damian Lillard, depending on where he wants to go, obviously. But if you're Portland, you do not take anything less than, like, I would say 4 or 5 first-round picks for Damian Lillard in any swap. Okay? Like, Damian Lillard is easily worth 3, 4, 5 first-round picks and even pick swaps after that. Okay? Like, the guy had the best season of his career last year, and if you're Portland and Joe Cronin, you cannot fuck this up, okay? Like, you're at a point now where I don't care where Damian Lillard wants to go. If you want to abide by Damian Lillard and trade him to Brooklyn, I think Brooklyn's probably the best landing spot for him. They happen to have the most assets. But it's just the idea, like, he wants to go to Miami. He wants to go to Brooklyn. That's fine. Miami is going to be hard to do. I'm just going to tell you right now, Miami is going to be a hard move to make. You know, I mean, they have Tyler Hero, but at least Brooklyn, like, they've got some young pieces you could maybe get onto. They've got a couple first-round picks left, I think, from the James Harden trade and stuff. But it's just the idea, man. If you're Portland, at this point, I'm not quite sure you do exactly what Damian Lillard wants. If you're Portland, I think you take whatever the best offer is for Damian Lillard. I mean, we're talking about a guy who was the best point guard in basketball last year statistically, okay? So it's just the idea, like, I know there's people who are going to argue that, oh, the best point guard in basketball is, I said statistically, okay? Pay attention. So it's just the idea, like, if you're Portland, it's been time. It's been time for a while, and you know what? I understand that you guys have like this weird conflicting relationship with Damian Lillard, that it's like, oh, we love Dame, but you know, like they love each other, but they also don't want to piss in each other's Cheerios. Like, I totally get that. But at this point, like, the Jerami Grant signing, I think, was finally the last straw for Damian Lillard. Like, you spent way too much money on Jerami Grant. And, you know, like, even if, like, Portland was one of the teams that was linked to Karl Anthony Towns, right? And at least if you would have brought in Karl Anthony Towns, at least Damian Lillard could have been like, okay, at least you're trying. But no, you brought back the same fucking player on $40 million more than what he's actually fucking worth. You know, at least if it would have been like, okay, we'll bring him back on 4 years or 5 years, $115 million, or 5 years, $123 million. That would have been a little more like in the ballpark. You know what I'm saying? But $160 million, we're talking Ja Morant money, okay? And he's not Ja Morant. So, I don't know, man. I thought the Blazers front office needed an overhaul a long fucking time ago. It clearly still does. I mean, anytime you're paying a guy like Jerami Grant 160 bills, it's like, what the fuck are you doing? You know, so I don't know, man. You know what? They're drafting well, it seems. Shaedon Sharpe proved me wrong last year. He proved to be a pretty good player. I think Scoot Henderson's going to be very good. I think their future backcourt of Shaedon Sharpe and Scoot Henderson is a very, very interesting and intriguing thing for Portland going forward. But you fumbled the fucking bag with Damian Lillard here, man. Like, as I do a voice crack here. But it's just the idea, like, they totally fumbled the bag here with this. I mean, as soon as I saw that, like, I obviously wanted to talk about the Pacer signings first with Bruce Brown and stuff, but when I saw that they paid Jerami Grant $160 million, I'm like, these people are out of their fucking minds. So, and that's, like, not just me saying that. Like, that's popular sentiment all around YouTube now. And it just, this was the final fucking straw for Damian Lillard. And it's like, you know what? Like honestly, they can't do anything to improve this roster. They were like, oh yeah, we're gonna improve the roster. We'll get you somebody. We're committed to building around Damian Lillard. And what do? You just bring back the same fucking guy on a lucrative deal that he's not worth. So if you're Damian Lillard, I can't blame you. I'm just going to call it what it is. If I'm Damian Lillard, I absolutely cannot blame you for asking for out. Because like that was bullshit. Like, what they really needed to do was add some defense, right? Like, I'm not saying you need to get like a crazy superstar player, but like, you don't do boneheaded shit like this where you sign a guy like Jerami Grant to a $160 million deal. It's not worth it. And, like, there was, like, they didn't bring back Cam Reddish. Like, and Cam Reddish, I get it. Not the greatest player in the world, but it's just the idea, like, if Portland could have maybe gotten themselves, like, I don't know. Like, they weren't getting anybody in free agency. I'm just going to call it what it is. Like, if they were going to get somebody, they would have had to trade for him. And if I'm, like, the Timberwolves or something like that, I'm not trading Karl Anthony Towns for Jerami Grant. Sorry, I'm not. He could be a part of a trade, but it's just the idea, like, I just don't think even adding Karl Anthony Towns to that team would have made them a playoff team. But then you have a logjam in your front court with Jusuf Nurkic and Karl Anthony Towns. You end up like the fucking Timberwolves. So it's just like, you know what? Good on Damian Lillard. Let them move on. Let Portland do what the fuck they're gonna do. Let them draft, rebuild, because that's where they should have been. And I get that Portland loves themselves some Damian Lillard. I love watching Damian Lillard, but I am so tired of watching him play in basketball fucking purgatory because Portland's front office just can't get shit right. They don't play defense. They don't sign the right players. They make stupid boneheaded fucking trades all the time. I mean, they traded, what is it, Gary Payton II for a handful of fucking second round picks. They've done all these salary cap dumping moves, right, in the past, trading Robert Covington and doing all this other shit. They've done so many moves that are just salary cap dump moves and then don't fucking sign anybody. So, or even trade for anybody. They traded CJ McCollum for a bunch of fucking nobodies. I mean, these were all salary cap dumping moves and they've done nothing to improve this team since they traded CJ McCollum. So, I don't know, man. You know what? I can't blame Dame. I absolutely can't, because this is a team that has been operating ass backwards for the past 4 or 5 years. And honestly, if I'm the owner of the Portland Trailblazers, I think Joe Cronin just lost his job. I'm just going to call it what it is. Like, I think the whole front office needs to be fucking let go. I mean, this move, this Jerami Grant signing fucked up your relationship with your franchise generational talent player. So, I don't know, man. We'll have to wait and see what the Damian Lillard trade looks like. Rumors are he wants to go to Brooklyn. Rumors are he wants to go to Miami. Philadelphia is a possibility, supposedly. I mean, if you're Philadelphia, maybe it's like, okay, give me Damian Lillard and I'll give you James Harden or some shit. I don't know. James Harden supposedly doesn't want to go there, but I don't give a fuck what James Harden wants, and I don't think Daryl Morey does anymore either, really. But it's just the idea, man. Like, this was so bad, and I knew last night when I saw it, I'm like, Damian Lillard's gone. And sure enough, he is. So, tell me what you guys think about this down below in the comment section below. I like, helps me out. Subscribe if you guys want to see more. I'm the Fast Break Report, and I'm out of this motherfucker. Peace, guys.